welcome. Welcome to Golden Nuggets. I want to welcome you to my channel, Victorious Life Coaching. I want to tell you guys, even before I get started, go down and hit that subscribe button so that you may be alerted when I go live, so that you could catch my latest videos. And for those who do not know me, I am Coach Sammy Love. I am a life purpose coach. I come every Wednesday night to bring you a golden nugget. I come to bring you a word. I come to bring you nuggets that you can apply to your life. I come so that you may upgrade your life. And so that's what I do. I am a life purpose coach, and I want you to live your best life now. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me. If you saw my topic, I said action steps. It is time to put action steps behind those goals and those dreams. Sometimes we have goals, sometimes we have dreams, but guess what? We haven't put any actions behind them. We haven't written a plan. We're not doing them. We just have these goals, and they're just sitting there on the paper. So I want today to stir you up to put some action behind your goals, some action behind your dreams. Because let me tell you, if you do not put action behind your goals, if you do not put action behind the dreams, if you don't put action behind the vision God has given you, guess what? It will not manifest. It will not come to fruition. It will not be produced. So you have to put action so that you may produce. So I'm just glad you guys are joining me. I'm excited to be here on YouTube. So that's why I'm smiling so much. But so tonight I just got a few little nuggets that I'm going to give to you. I always tell you, bring your paper, bring your pen to write these things down, because why would you sit and give your time away and not take something away with you? So anytime you're sitting down and someone is giving you some tips and you have taken time out your day, let me tell you, get you some pen, get you some paper, and make sure you take notes. So therefore you're able to apply it to your life. So we're going to jump right into this. I am not going to hold you guys long on tonight. But once again, like I said, when you come in, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss me when I go live. So I sat down and I said, okay, what steps would I put together so that therefore I can move forward to my goals? So therefore I can move forward to my dreams. What steps would I put together? And so I sat down and I wrote down a couple of things that I think is very key when you are starting out and you said, okay, I want to put some action behind my goals. I want to put some action behind my dreams. I want to put some action behind my vision. I want to go somewhere with this. So I need to start making a plan. You always got to make a plan. Don't just, go out there. Always make a plan. So the first one I wrote, that when you are starting out to put actions to go behind your dreams, to go behind your vision, to go with your goals, I always say start small. Sometimes we like to just jump out of there and we have all these big things that we want to do. But when you're not used to doing these things, I always tell my clients, start small. Start small. So therefore, if you go beyond what you said you were going to do, then that's just something extra you did. But at least try to make it where you can reach it. At least try to make it where it is your minimum. So therefore, if you exceed that, then it's like, okay, I accelerated past that, and you be extra excited. But don't make it so big that you couldn't even reach it in the beginning and it was unrealistic. So I wrote down, number one, I wrote, right actions to achieve the results we're after. So we have to have the right actions to achieve the results that we're after. And the reason I said that is because sometimes we're so busy doing this and so busy doing that, but those things are not leading us any closer to our dreams. They're not leading us any closer to the vision we have. They're not leading us any closer to our goals. We're just doing, but it's not pushing us closer to where we're trying to get to. So you have to put together the right actions. What are the actions I need to put together so therefore I can conquer my goals? Therefore, I can execute the vision. Therefore, I can move forward in what I want to do. What are the right actions? And so you have to remember that everybody's actions would be different. So you can't compare yourself to someone, because sometimes we try to compare ourselves to other people. Well, this person is doing this and well, this person is doing that. You have to understand sometimes what might work for one person may not work for you, because let's just say you may be a full-time you may work a full-time job, you may be a single mother, you work a full-time job, and you have all these different things. And then you may be somebody else that you're looking at, that they're a single woman, they don't have any kids, and so you're comparing yourself to them. But let me tell you, their actions and what they can do is going to be different than your actions and what you can do. And so don't compare yourself to someone else. You have to line your actions up with what can you do. And don't overextend yourself, because I think sometimes we overextend, we overcommit, when it's like, okay, you work 40 hours a week. Don't put so much pressure on you that you make your journey hard. I want to say that, because your goals is supposed to be something that inspire you. When you're putting action behind the vision and the dreams, it should be something that you look forward to doing, not something that feel like a task, because you have put so much on yourself that now you look at it as a job, and it's not. Yes, you have to put in the work. Yes, you need to get the moving. Yes, you have to put your hands to the plow. You have to put your hands to the work, so therefore you can see get results. But it shouldn't be something that is taxing. It shouldn't be something that you don't look forward to doing, especially when you're building a dream and the vision that God has given you. It should be exciting. I know for me, when I leave my regular full-time job and I get to come do lives, or I get to come and do my coaching stuff, I'll be so excited. It's like when I finish that job, I'll be like, okay, now I'm going to do what I really like. And that's what I was thinking about today. Now I'm going to do what I really like. So there should be some excitement about you moving forward and what God has given you. I just wanted to encourage you in that area. So I said you have to have the right actions. And so therefore you can achieve the results that you want. Okay. So you have to have the right actions. What are the steps I need to take to do this? Let's just say you wanted to lose weight. I'm gonna just use that as an example. So it's like, okay, I want to lose weight. So that's my goal. What's my goal? I want to lose weight. I want to use this many pounds. Okay, so what are the actions you're going to take? I always tell my clients that we got to write down actions. What are you going to do so therefore you can meet your goals? What are you going to do so therefore the vision can come together? Okay, well, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. I'm going to run 2 times a week. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Okay, so now you put action together. You put plan together. Now you need to get busy. You need to get busy doing the plan. Oh my goodness, I love that. You need to get busy doing the plan, because we can write the goals, we can come up with the plan, but now it's time to get busy doing the plan. And I wrote down, sometimes we can be just doing things. I said that, and I'm going to repeat it again. Sometimes we can just be doing things. We're just doing things, doing things, doing things. And we have so much on our plate, but it's really not getting us to where we're supposed to be. And I always like to say this, there is a difference between a good thing and a God thing. I remember telling myself a couple of days ago, I said, in this season, I only want to do God things. I don't want to do something just because it's a good thing. I want to do something because it's a God thing, and God has told me that this is what I need to be doing. Because let me tell you, you can afford to be wasting time, because sometimes when you're just doing stuff, guess what? You're wasting time, because it's almost like, did God tell you to be there? Did God tell you to be doing that? Is that even part of your purpose? Because sometimes you could be so busy somewhere doing something and it ain't even a part of the purpose. It's not even part of the vision. It's not part of the dream. God didn't tell you to go over there, but you're just doing. So you want to make sure that when you are when you are into action and you are doing things, you want to make it count. You want to make sure that it's leading you closer to finishing your goals. It's leading you closer to that vision. It's leading you closer to what you the dreams or the purpose God has for you. Okay. So I said, write down your action steps. You have to write them down. Sometimes we get so comfortable, like, well, they're just in my mind. Let me tell you, that's not good enough. I always tell my coaching clients that is not good enough. not just to have them in your head. You need to literally write them down. I think a lot of times we don't like to write down stuff because once we write it down, then I have to commit to it. So when I write it down and I see it, now I have to commit to it. So I'm gonna just leave it in my head. So then it's just in my head. But no, you need to write it down. What is your action steps? What are the steps you're gonna take to get to the dream? What are the steps you're gonna take to get to the vision? What are your action steps? You need to write them down. I understand. Let me tell you, as a coach, I always tell my clients, obstacles do come up, things come up. But when obstacles come up and things happen, you don't just throw in the towel. Guess what? I go to plan B. Plan A was not going to work, so I'm going to plan B now. But I don't just throw everything away. So you need to write down your action steps. So therefore, you can have something to refer back to, because sometimes we forget. Okay, so you need to write them down, not in just in your head. Nope, get them out your head. You need to write down, what are my action steps? This is my goal. This is what I'm trying to get to. It could be, hey, I'm trying to save money. Hey, I'm trying to do this. Okay, you're trying to save money. Okay, so what are you doing? What are the steps you're going to take so therefore you can save money? You say, well, you know what, right now I want to start saving. Let's just say next summer I want to take the kids on a Disney World cruise or a trip, and I know it's going to cost me about $6,000. Okay, so now you said, okay, I want to start doing things. Okay, so now you need to put some steps together. What are the steps you need to take? What is the action you need to take so therefore next year you can take the kids on the trip or the family on the trip that you have planned? And so you have to write them down. So therefore you are able to execute them. And guess what? Let me tell you, when you write down your steps, your action steps, it keeps you on course and it keeps you focused. Because like I said earlier, you can be so busy just doing things that the things you're doing is not pushing you any closer to the dream, the vision, the goal. It's not pushing you any closer. So therefore, I truly believe when you write down your action steps, it keeps you focused. It keeps you on course. So therefore, you're not so easily swayed to something else. You don't get so caught up in other things, because let me tell you, when it's not a part of your purpose, it's not a part of your destiny, why are you over there? That reminds me of someone who goes to college and they get all these degrees, and then when they graduate, they don't use anything that they went to school with. Yes, I'm not talking about the ones that when they graduate, they can't find a job. I'm talking about the ones they went to school, they have all these degrees, and when they graduate, now they're doing something else. They're not even using their degrees. They didn't even look for a job in the field. They went to school all these years. So let me tell you, they went to school 5 years. They spent 5 years. That is 5 years out of their life that they can never get back. And they got these degrees. They got all this time. They spent all that time there. And then when they graduate, they don't even look for a job in that field. They go do something else. And they may say, well, I don't feel like it's wasted. But what I'm saying is, the older you get, you don't have time to be doing things that has nothing to do with your destiny. Oh my goodness. You don't have time to be doing things that's not leading you closer to your goals, where you're headed. You don't have time to be doing things that's not leading you closer to destiny, because you have to understand, time we can never get back. So once that time is gone, it's gone. And so therefore, in this season, I truly believe that you have to be doing things. The actions that you are taking has to be leading you closer to the vision, the dream, the goals, or whatever you have planned. The plan, it needs to be leading you closer to the plan. So that's why you need to write them down. And then I said, you need to schedule your action steps. I always talk about scheduling. I always talk about getting a planner, but you need to schedule it, because like I said, a lot of times we have other things going on in our lives. We have families, we have jobs, we have all these other things while we're trying to build the vision, while we're trying to build the dreams or go forth in those goals or whatever God has given us. And so we need to schedule it in. I remember when I first started coaching, I'm like, okay, how am I going to run a business? And I'm a full-time mom. I work a full-time job. And I remember my coach telling me, he said, you're going to have to schedule it in. And so you're going to have to schedule in your action steps. These are the steps that I'm going to take, and I'm going to schedule them in. So therefore I can stay on course and I want to accomplish them, because you don't want to write these things down and you never get to them. So you have to schedule them in. And let me tell you, like I always tell my clients, when you schedule it in, do not let anything move it out of that spot. So if you schedule it in on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, then it's Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, unless there's an emergency or something like that. But you have to say, okay, no. If someone asks you, well, can you do this on Wednesday at 6? No, I have this already planned. You have to be mindful to stick to your action steps. And sometimes you're going to have to tell people, no, well, I can do it a little later or I can do it a little earlier, but this is the time. Because let me tell you, when you write down your action steps and you schedule them in, the more you skip and say, well, you know what, I'll just do it next week, you're going to find yourself where you don't do it at all. Am I the only one that's like that? That sometimes we'll say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then it never happens. And so I truly believe when you start missing out on your scheduling, when you start skipping, then that leads you more and more to not accomplish what you set out to do. And then I said you have to commit to your action steps. You have to commit. Oh my goodness. You have to commit. I remember I was reading something the other day and it just blew my mind. It says a lot of people don't want to commit because it means that they're going to have to pay a price. And so what he was saying was a lot of people don't want to commit because they're going to have to sacrifice in another area of their life. And so a lot of people don't want to commit, but you have to commit to your action steps because you have to remember that you have made a plan and now you have action steps, and the action steps is going to get you closer. So the steps, the action you're putting behind the plan that you already have put down is going to lead you closer to your dreams. It's going to lead you closer to your vision. And so you have to say, I'm going to commit to this. You have to make a commitment to yourself. I remember I told myself a couple of days ago, I said, I owe this to myself. It's not to anybody else I owe it to. I owe it to myself not to give up. And so you have to hold on to that too, that you owe it to yourself not to give up. And you need to commit to the action steps that you wrote down. That's why I said sometimes you may need to make them small, so therefore they are attainable. And so therefore there's something that you can commit to and that you can do. And then the longer you do it, you feel like you can add a little more, then add a little more. Like I told you, I am a life purpose coach. So I come to help you get your life together. So, and then I said your action steps should not overwhelm you. They should not make you feel overwhelmed. They should not make you feel burnt out. So therefore, that's why I said earlier, your action steps have to be according to your life. It has to be according to how you flow. It has to be according to how your life structure is structured. That's how your action steps have to be. So therefore, you're not overwhelmed. You don't feel burnt out, and you don't feel like it's a task. It's a joy to be able to put action to the dream, to the vision, and to the goals. And so then I said, this is the last one. You need someone to hold you accountable. You need accountability because sometimes when we don't have anyone asking us about it or are checking up on us, we can sometimes sway, or we can sometimes don't do what we were used to doing. We can walk away from it. We can get lazy, procrastinate, whatever it may be, but you need someone to hold you accountable. And I know sometimes we are adults, we're like, well, I don't need nobody. No, you need someone, because there are people that I call to hold me accountable, and I'll tell them, I need you to hold me accountable in this area, and I need you to check on me every now and then to make sure. And you need someone that's going to hold you accountable that is not a yes man. They're going to hold you accountable from a place of love. So you know when they ask you about it, it's like, okay, they checking on me. And so for you need that. And so that's what I do. Even as a life coach, I hold my clients accountable. Hold them accountable to what they said. I hold them accountable to their plan, to their goals, to what they said. Everything they wrote that they said is what I hold them accountable to. So you need someone in your life to hold you accountable to your action steps, the steps you put together, the steps you schedule in. So therefore, you can conquer your goals. You can move forth into destiny. You can continue to build the vision, because now you're putting action behind your goals, and you're not just writing goals. You're not just writing down a plan and you're not putting any action behind it. So I pray that this blessed you. Well, I know it did. Let me take that back. I know that this blessed you. I know that it's going to upgrade your life if you apply these principles. Let me tell you, you're going to see things on a whole nother level. So I thank you guys for joining me. Once again, I am Coach Sammy Love. This is Victorious Life Channel. I come every Wednesday night with a golden nugget. Out during the week, I actually post different videos at different times. My videos, they're always to empower you, to encourage you, to stretch you, to challenge you, because I feel like we can always upgrade our lives. And so you want to reach out to me, I am at victoriouslife.com. You can find me on Facebook at Victorious Life Coaching. Those are the platforms that I am on. I thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys soon.